for riding with me today. I'm Candace Bell, Sunny Isles resident, but also Sunny Isles realtor. I do service areas around my city, but I love my city. But today we're driving just outside of Sunny Isles Beach into North Miami Beach for an inspection. We have an inspection day today. My clients, this is their first time purchasing a home. They are at work right now, and I wanted to make sure that I showed up for this inspection so that, you know, we can make sure everything's in order. And I just wanted to bring you along for the ride. So thank you so much for being here, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. So I wanted to get on here and just share a little bit about my journey as a realtor. I actually got my license at the end of 2023, and I didn't really do anything until I'd say like the end of 2024, like midway. And the reason being is because I legit was just trying to figure out my job. I was trying to figure out, what do I do? Like, who do I talk to? How does this work? How does the business of real estate work? I literally was just pretty much on pause trying to just learn all that I could learn. But the thing about that is, when you are in the process of learning, you should also be in the process of doing. It's not just about, you know, just reading the books. And that, at least that's been my experience. Of course, they tell you to start out with your sphere of influence. So I started with, you know, obviously sphere of influence, the people that I know in my phone. And I'm like, hey, everybody knows I got my real estate license. Does anyone need a property? Does anybody need anything? And also, you know, I just got my license, so you're gonna be a guinea pig. And that's how it started. My sphere just so happened to be the absolute best. They ended up being the absolute best. The referrals, they kept coming. One thing led me to another thing, and before I knew it, I was just doing so amazing in rentals. I was kicking butt, in my opinion. I did that for a while, and then I was just kind of like, I know that rentals are easy. They're a lot of fun. I can get to the closing a lot faster. And I know that for some, like they say, don't say closing when you're talking about rentals. But no, closing is when you close a transaction, when both parties have agreed, all paperwork is done, all settlements have been settled, okay? I was good with rentals, but I knew I needed to elevate. I knew I needed to get to the next level, but I was just struggling and I didn't know how. And I had mentors. It was a phenomenal brokerage, but at that time, I needed more one-on-one help. And that brokerage, they offered a great mentor. But the thing about mentorship is you want to make sure that you can truly connect with that person. And not that that mentor wasn't the greatest, because that mentor was awesome, but I knew I needed more guidance. I had a friend who I now call my real estate bestie. She was absolutely phenomenal. She invited me to an event, and we went to this event, and I met another person who now is like a sister to me. She was talking about rentals, and I remember her saying, I made so much money doing rentals. And in that moment, it boosted my confidence. I really was just like, you know what? I'm going to stay with rentals because I'm doing great right now. And she's proving to me that I could have a great future with just rentals. We talked briefly, and then like after the event, I said to myself, I'm going to get to know this person, and I'm going to know her. Like, she seems like she's got like a crazy wealth of knowledge. She's open to like talking about it, and I just want to pick her brain. Let me just start by saying this too. My real estate bestie is like crazy with the knowledge too. I didn't know who to go to for what and how to navigate the space. So I was just kind of like, let me just pick everybody's brain and figure out what works. And so leaving that event, I text now my real estate sister. I text her and I said, you know, hey, I know you don't know me from a can of paint, but I'm really just new and I'm trying to figure things out, and I'm seeking guidance and knowledge from everywhere. It was like this novel post, right? And I said, do you mind like helping me and mentoring me a little bit? And she was just kind of like, okay. And at first, she was like, I'll help you here and there, but you've got to take these courses. So I'll say for the state of Florida, there are specific courses that you need to take to be able to just know what you're doing. You need to have like the matrix, all of the MLS classes, contract classes. And yes, you do take a test to pass to become a realtor, but there are specific tests designed for you to enhance your knowledge so that you will be able to move through transactions smoothly. And she would not help me until I completed those courses. And I have to say, I truly respect that, because now being in the space, I'm just like, there's no way on earth I would be able to move forward in mentoring someone without having those courses in place, because it's just, you're talking to somebody and they don't even know what you're talking about. So that was great. So I started doing those courses and I became more competent in the process, which made it easier for me to understand not only my real estate sister, but my real estate bestie when they were talking to me and explaining things to me. Did that, started getting more rentals under my belt, and then finally I got my first listing. And it was a rental, but it was on the listing side. And I quickly realized that, wow, like for me, my experience, I'm gonna keep saying my experience is I have zero desire to drive around all over the place and try to find properties. But I recognize that not every single one of my clients is going to be on the seller side or the landlord side. So I do need to fully understand the process. And so when I got that first listing, that was my first taste of this is what it feels like to have people come to you. I heard someone say, having a listing brings babies, like brings other things, brings buyers, brings agent. You begin to build your agent network and all the things when you have the listing. Having my first taste of that listing was just like, oh my goodness, this is the greatest feeling ever, because I was able to tap into the market, understand pricing, create a marketing strategy. Did I know how to do all of this? Absolutely not. I did a lot of research. Shout out to ChatGPT. Shout out to my real estate besties, real estate sister, my former mentor. Shout out to just everybody who came around and said, Candace, okay, these are the things you might want to tap into to be able to understand. And I'll try to name a few of the things, if there are new realtors watching this, that I used to be able to research the market and understand how to price correctly. I'll drop those description. I had the opportunity to learn how to price a property, and I did a pretty great job. And the greatest thing was the landlord, they knew that, well, maybe they didn't know. I don't think they knew. They probably didn't know, because I was so thorough in all that I was doing. We did a great job and we got it off the market very quickly, and we secured the first tenant. And still to this day, that tenant is in place. I learned that process. And then I thought to myself, well, okay, I got this landlord. How do I get more landlords? Still not thinking of the purchase side. I was like, this was great. How do I do this again? And my husband, he is like king of marketing. He's in the internet marketing space. He creates marketing systems and tools for marketing consultants to help businesses grow. He's heavily in the AI space. He does so many amazing things. I got to do a separate video about my husband because he's just crazy amazing. He also built my website. So if you're going to go log on to CandaceBell.com, check it out. All of the amazing features were created by his team. I asked my husband, I'm like, babe, how do I get more of this? Like, how do I do more of this to where I can, he said, did you even ask him for a review? Did you ask for referrals? I was like, oh, duh. So prior to real estate, I organized closets for a living. So I would travel and clean people's closets out and organize them and put all the stuff back in. And it was amazing. Do like different build outs, all types of things. Helped people create new structures, turning rooms into closets. And then prior to that, I had a children's company where I helped children build character while getting into character. That company was called She Scouts. I missed that so much. It was amazing. I had like Power to the Parents. It was awesome. And then prior to that, I worked with different acting agencies. And prior to that, I did retail. I was in clothing retail. And so during that time somewhere, I did like events, and I managed events, managed an event space, just a lot of creative things. I did a lot of things. And so I took all of those things and I was just kind of like, you know what, babe, you're right. I do need to get referrals, because all of those businesses that I participated in or owned or whatever, a very important part of continuing to grow that business, referrals. In that moment, I quickly realized it's not just about selling or leasing properties. I need to have a business in order. I need to have some type of business structure. That's really when the work began. And I went on this like crazy journey for a year, putting pieces together, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. I definitely got discouraged a lot of times. I definitely felt overwhelmed a lot of times. I think what was important throughout this whole process was ensuring that I stayed the course. I knew I wanted to be $1 million listing agent just because of my experience with the listing side of things. I need to stay on this path, and whatever I need to do to get there is what I'm gonna do, of course, ethically, and making sure, nobody was hurt in the process, or, everything was legally done. But I wanted to make sure that I got there. So my husband said, "Did you get a referral?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't do that." I reached back out and I'm like, "Hey, former landlord, partner, friend," because I feel like once I'm in contact with somebody and we work together intensely for a while, we eventually become friends. We eventually become partners in some sort. And I do firmly believe that when you're in a transaction, you're working with someone to come to a close. So my relationships with my clients are partnerships to be able to yield them the results that they want to yield. And they have to work with me and I have to work with them, and we have to agree. So that is a partnership. So this landlord partner that I had, they said, "Oh my gosh, Candace, you did such an amazing job. I wanted to tell you there are a couple of owners in this property that want to list their properties also. Can you help them?" I was like, duh. So I got their contact information, and just like that, I ended up from having one listing and working with several renters, I went from working with several renters to working with several landlords, because I did such a great job. And I was so grateful that this landlord was so pleased with my work. It only made me more confident, and of course my competence level went sky high. But I analyzed that process and I said, oh my gosh, what did I do to make this happen, and what can I do to make this happen quickly for the others? I went from having one listing to having 5 listings at once, and it was incredible, and all of them got leased. I have one unit that's coming back around to be leased again, and that landlord reached out to me again. So I'm telling you all of this because this is clearly going to have to be a multi-part series, because one, I'm new to doing this, but I'm going to grow and I'm going to get better with you all. When I say doing this, I mean creating content and being consistent. So I'm going to do that. But also I want to ensure that, one, I hold myself accountable to being of service to my community. And when I say my community, it breaks down into like multiple things. It breaks down into obviously my actual community of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, but my community of agent partners, realtors, new realtors that are coming up, seasoned realtors, landlords, sellers, buyers, renters. I want to be of service to you all. So my goal is to continue to produce content in real time and get it out to you all in a timely manner. I can commit to, let's hold me accountable to 1 video a week for now, but I wanted to give you guys a little start to my background and where things began and where I'm headed now. But my ultimate goal was to become a $1 million listing agent, and let's just say I'm there now. And I promise to bring you through the journey. Also, I do recommend, as new realtors, if you're out here and you're trying to figure out your way, start vlogging from now, and don't be afraid to be new. Don't be afraid to be new, because I believe that when I explain to mortgage brokers, when I explain to people who run title companies, law attorneys, anybody that's in working with the real estate field, when I let them know, hey, I'm fairly new to this. I'm not new to sales. I'm not new to negotiation. I'm not new to problem solving, but I'm new to this space and I'm open to learning. You will not believe how many people come to your aid and provide the resources and the necessary tools to help you grow. So if you're a new realtor starting out, by all means, start vlogging from now. Tell people your goals. They say hide your business, da da da. No, ask, speak up, let people know what you're doing. But they say when people are more willing to help you push the cart when they see you're pushing the cart yourself. And so get out, push your cart, show people you're pushing your cart, and talk to them about your process. And people are definitely going to help you. And if I can help you in any type of way, by all means, drop a comment, let me know, and I'll be here. But I wanted to create just a start so that you all could kind of know my journey and follow my journey, and hopefully things that come up for me will be able to help you as well. But yeah, I'm about to hop into this property and do this inspection, and thank you so much. I am going to take you on the journey. I did tell you thank you for riding with me earlier. So we just found out we had great water pressure. Inspection complete. Peter is the man.
It's complete.
How are you feeling?
Real confident.
Yeah?
Real confident because I'm just a confident
Period. Thanks, Peter.
You got it.
Thank you so much for riding with me. I really, really appreciate you. I probably shouldn't be doing this video while driving, but I feel like this is the most free that I can be in this form of content. I am so committed to providing value to you all. So if you found value in this video, please, please, please let me know how this video helped you, how you were able to implement anything. If you took anything from this video, let me know what it was, because I always strive to becoming better, you know, and your feedback definitely helps. But I also want to make sure that I'm being of service to whoever's watching. So I appreciate you all once again. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.